So you've heard of the term sense of place when people are building and designing their cities, and that can be used to define the relationship between people and places. But what is it that makes a certain place somewhere that you want to go, that makes you just enjoy being there? Or some urban planners also like to call this place attachment, where people start to have an emotional connection to a place, or a meaningful relationship starts to grow about a place that you like to visit. But when you start to choose places to go based on factors other than just convenience, just because it's nearby, because it's the cheapest, then you're starting to tap into what makes those places feel like they have a sense of place. So the question is, how can we find out more about what is a sense of place, and how can we then translate that into better designs in our city? Well, we're going to find that out in today's video. So grab a cup of tea, sit down, let's get stuck in. So here we are in Blighty on the Wold, our UK themed city, and I've just loaded up and we've got that weird thing where everybody's upgrading their houses, which means more people can move in. It just happens every now and again after the Plazas and Promenades DLC. Look, all the little green arrows popping up, everybody's just randomly upgrading. Okay, I can't complain. So we're going to use some of the tools that we have available to us in our game to see where we can add some places that people want to go to and to make them good places as well. What tools do we have available to us to help us to do that? Well, first of all, we have our land value tool. So I would perhaps look for somewhere that doesn't have the greatest land value and think, well, let's put a place there and make it somewhere that people want to visit. We've got lots of places with lots of high land value alongside the river here. This sort of pedestrian area, particularly high land value through there. So lots of places in our city have a good high land value. This park that we've got here, not so great. Now this should be somewhere that people want to come and visit. We've got trees, we've got rocks, we've got camping, we've got all sorts of things. Also Feltham over here, the land value drops a lot as we get over this side, and also tied in with our second tool, that's going to help us decide as well, and that is this one here, leisure. Okay, so with all these tabs along the top here, I tend to start at this end. That can also help us to decide where is places that people might want to go and visit. So sports arenas, we don't really have many of those around our city. We have this one sports arena here, the track and field stadium, which is built into our university over here. We can already see people like to come and visit this. So that could be a place that we could turn into a nice place to visit. Public libraries, we've got quite a few of those dotted around. Park areas, not so much. We've got this park area here, and we've got a couple that are sort of dotted in between other places. This is a farm. Don't forget Industries DLC and pedestrian and plazas areas will all look the same, and universities. Feltham looking pretty red in the old leisure area. So could we do something that's going to help the area of Feltham? What about this piece of land over here? This catches my eye. Why is that, you may ask? Well, it is alongside the motorway. It's got a train line running through it there. So maybe not an area where you'd expect it to be totally quiet, but a piece of land perhaps that would not be as attractive to people that want to build houses there. We do have some houses along this side, but we do need to also make sure we've got plenty of green land. And if we put a nice place to visit here, it then makes it available not only to the district of Feltham, but Moulton, to St Giles West and East, Upper T Hampton Hub. We can have access through there, and then we're starting to go out into the country as well by St Maurice Cargo Station, St Maurice Farm, and then the East Charlton shopping centre that can get rebuilt as well, and that will be nice and nearby. So between the shopping centre and whatever ends up here, a nice park plaza area that you can come and visit, you've got easy access for a lot of people to get over here and to really make it a nice sense of place. And even just having something like this wonderful bridge that runs along here would just be something people would love to come and see, take photos in, all that sort of all that sort of good stuff as well. So maybe let's have a think about what we can add into here. So we are going to mark this out as a park. But that park is going to take in all of that area and link in to Upper Hampton, St Giles, Feltham, Moulton, all of those. And the bonuses that we're going to get from this are going to start spreading in this area as well. And hopefully by the end, we'll see an increase in the land value. Let's take another look at that in this area. So first of all, let's decide what sort of park it's going to be. And I think for this one, we are going to go for a nature reserve as the basis for the park. I'm thinking, let's have a look, that I really want the main entrance to be down here somewhere off of this road. Now, we've got this sort of national road that runs through here, which is fine. I'm just looking at this road down here. So you could come up, come off. We could actually utilise this little extra road that we've got here and have this. Oh! Also saved. Let's have a quick sip of tea before we place that down. And don't forget to check out BiffaPlaysMerch.com as well, where we now have the missing Hugo There mug. So if you wish to have the full set, Hugo There, Lane Mathematics and autosave sip of tea, then they are all available for you. Okay, so yeah, let's put the main entrance that we've got in here. We're going to pop that at the end of the road there. So now this is Yatton Marshes Nature Reserve. Okay, excellent. Yeah, so we may add some water and things in here as we go along. I'd like to add some parking. Yeah, that'll do, that'll do. We don't want too much parking here. We're going to have lots of different entrances and exits that people could come into. There we go. Let's add that in there. Very good. And then we're going to be able to want to get over the top. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to remove a lot of these trees that we've got in here because we're going to do some landscaping ourselves. There we go. I'm going to remove those there. And we are going to have a bridge that comes up and over the top of this piece of land. If I remember correctly, this has a very cool bridge looking piece. Yeah, there we go. I like that. Excellent. And then we can hook up to that. We're going to bring a piece of path out from there because we're going to have some other buildings, and then I would like to somehow get this to curve around. So I'm going to how would we do this if that came and curved around and went into here? If I can have a little road coming out at an angle, come on, like that. Let's see if this works. And then we're going to go with this one, and we're going to go from there to there in the network multi-tool. Ah, there we go. That is exactly what I was sort of thinking. If we can make that a little bit smaller, is that going to fit under there? That looks perfect, doesn't it? Let's go with that. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted, to go under there. And then we could do a similar thing over here once we get this set up. Before we get to that, let's add another entrance from Upper Hampton Hub. There's no sort of space through there. We've got this path that comes down and runs underneath and connects these two sides together. So I'm thinking off the side of this path would be good, but we need road access, don't we? Which is a bit of a pain. Could we squeeze it in up the top here and have this as an entrance? Let's see what we can do. Let's get rid of that there. Yeah, there we go. Very good. So now actually we're going to start making money for people that are walking down this path here, aren't we? So if we upgrade this path, although it does connect on there, but it's not the end of the world. We'll just do that up to the bridge there, and then we'll connect that up to here. We'll anarchy that in, turn that on. Might need a little bit of jiggery pokery just to get this to line up correctly. Yeah, there we go, like that. That's fine. Let's get rid of these trees and things that are in the middle. If we turn that on again, use the move it mod. There we go. So now that comes down there, already people are parking. And then they can come through or they can go that way. Excellent. So let's run this path. We're going to switch out to the one with decorations. And we're going to do our favourite trick, which is set that like that. Put on the meander tool. And we're just going to sort of meander through these trees. Where would we end up? There we go. So we're coming out into this direction here. I'm thinking I don't really want an entrance here right by the farm and everything, but we definitely want an entrance over this side. Now, do we put an entrance up against this road? Well, we can't. Look how high that is from the highway. We do have this path which connects to this path, so people can get in without paying, coming that way, which is okay. We're not building this to make money. We're building it. This path is hilarious, isn't it? Yeah, we'll leave it like that. Right, so let's continue with some of these paths and see what we get. Okay, so I've just run some additional paths along here. One that runs along the train line. If that's your thing, you want to come and take some pictures, watch the trains go past. We've got one that closely follows this tree line, a bit of a space there. So as you're walking along here, you're not necessarily too worried about the road that's behind. You can't see it. And then if we head this way, that connects over to our entrance. And then again, we've got one here that follows along the viaducts over here, which looks very good. And they all sort of link up over here back to our main path that goes underneath and back up to the top again. And then you can walk around this way. So yeah, lots of different ways that you can walk around. But now we want to start adding some things inside the park to make it somewhere that you really want to go. So how about some water in here? I think this area along here would make a fantastic lake. And we're just going to take all of this. So we're going to use this tool here. We're going to go down. Yep, nice and low. We're going to get the height of that. Unfortunately, with these paths, we can just go straight up against them. There we go, like that. We'll need a little bit of work to flatten it out on the other side. There we go. I think that's fine. No problem having a little bank down there. So let's add some water in. This is always the fun part. I always go for the lowest. There we go. Because this can always go entirely wrong. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to add one there. And I'm going to make that come right up to the top. Like that. And then I'm going to add another one over here. And we're also going to make that come right to the top like that. And then hopefully we're not going to flood anything. Let's find out what happens. Oh, might have slightly overdone it. I had to increase the water capacity to get it to work. And I think I've gone a little bit too high. Darn it. Let's drop you down a spot. Drop you down a spot. And I don't think it's too bad. How are you getting on down here? Do you mind waiting, please? This guy's getting washed away. Free car wash. Bring your cars, your trucks, your vans. Free car wash. Today only. Mummy, are we going to get a free car wash? Are we going to... Lovely. Lovely and clean. Ah, yes, the vacuum trucks. I don't like you normally, but thank you very much for your assistance in clearing up the mess that I made. Okay, so very basic, got a lot of terraforming and beautification to do, but suddenly now this has got a sense of place, isn't it? If you were living over here, you'd be thinking, I want to go for a nice walk around there. Maybe you work from home, you want to go and grab some lunch and take a little stroll around the lake, then that is something you could do already. This would have added to the land value in the area if we take a look at that. So just being waterside, just being a nature reserve, that we've already been increasing a land value. So that is absolutely fantastic. So why don't we take a look at the entrance here and see what we can add in to make this sort of fit what we're doing. So we're going to just take out this little district that we've got here. Zoop! And we're going to add our own little district in. Just a small one up to here because we want a few little shops in here. Whitnash, well, it's going to be the same as this place over here, but we'll leave it named as it is. And what I want to add in is this one here, organic and local produce for some nice buildings. And then we're going to sort of mark this out with a couple of small roads. I was suddenly thinking I could put shops against these paths, but I can't, can I? So how about we use some of our pedestrian paths? There we go, just a little courtyard like that, nothing too big. So let's grab just some low density commercial in here, nothing too big. We've got a couple there. What can we get? A small one there maybe, one here, another small one there. I think that will be okay. We might actually continue this just along the back here and then we can connect that. There we go. And then we can add another couple of shops just along the front, slightly larger, and that goes on the other road, so that's fine. So hopefully that will fill in once we get a little bit of commercial need along here. Yeah, there we go, just a different type of tree. I think that will look okay. There we go. I'm just thinking as well, as these are pedestrian roads, whether we actually need to make this a pedestrian area with a service thingamabob. I think we might do. So I'm just wondering, just for ease now, just so we can get this thing going, is to actually just put in some standard little roads in here, which I think will be okay. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. Rather than sort of bothering about a whole new pedestrian zone. And hopefully that will still work there, even though they're set back. I think it should. Excellent. Okay, so let's do a little bit of beautification around our feature lake that we have in the middle here of Yatton Marshes Nature Reserve. Who the heck is this? Todd Peters going to Chirp Cinema. What? Yeah, okay. You just happy to float in the air like that? I guess you are. What is wrong with our... Oh dear. What is wrong with the path that I have for you? Maybe you'd like a dip in the water. I guess that's one way to not have to pay to visit a park. I don't know. We'll let him on his way. Thanks, Todd. Bye. Okay, so while the water settles down after we placed a whole load of stuff, you'll notice here I've got some tabs open. I've got some grasses that we can place. Some patches, just one sort of forest patch. We have some reeds. We have some shrubs. We have something under the tab of wild. Garden. Again, lots of leafy trees, grassy grasses, and some willows as well. So let's take a look at some of the other options that we've got here. We've got a few viewing decks. We're going to get that up against here. And then we're going to lower that down, maybe a tiny spot. And then just turn it around a bit so it's sort of at the edge of that path there. So you can come down. I feel like I want one over here, right by this one. So we'll use this one this time. There we go. Excellent. That fits in there nicely. Yep, don't need to adjust that one. So again, a nice viewing platform looking out on what is going on. Excellent. I love this rock as well. Might remember that from New Zealand with the road going through. I thought we would bring that one back. Nice. And then we've got some camping site assets. Now, I'm not sort of viewing this as an area where you'd come and perhaps stay, sleep overnight and camp. It is right by a road and a railway line. But it could be somewhere where you come and hire it out just for like a little party or something like that. So we place it down like so. I definitely want to change these trees out, perhaps for one of these over here. So it's Alt B for Bob. Yeah, there we go. Trees, which is conifer. And then we want to switch that out to ash. So, nice big tree. There we go. We'll pop that on there. Okay. And I think that gives a lot more cover if you were sat down here doing a little bit of camping. I think that's fine. Nice little fire around there. And then also we can add in, let's have a look down here. So that was that one. We've got this one here as well. Tent camping site number 1. So maybe we could have that. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's have that on the other side. Right next to there. There we go. And we're going to put some more trees around that as well. Yeah, excellent. Just a small little campsite that you might, might come and stay in. It's not too far from this area here, so maybe a little bit quieter, perhaps. Why not? Why not? Let's use our imagination. And then what else have we got along that sort of line? I don't really want the lookout towers. Yeah, we've got this lean-to shelter, so maybe let's add that sort of down here. We've got a couple of these, haven't we? This one, and we've also got this one as well. Thinking perhaps a couple of those. So if you want to come sort of camp along here and enjoy a bit of spotter fishing or something across there, why not? That would be good. What are we up to now? So plenty of entertainment till the next level. We just got to wait for visitors to come in. So let's try and help with that. But at the moment, there's no way for people from Molten to easily walk over to the other side. So maybe let's put a crossing over the top of here. I'm hoping, again, we can get this to be a nice sort of curvy path. We'll go for this. If we get that into here, and as you'll see, this is actually quite high up. So we'll get that one there. And there's a big drop down there. So then if we can bring that in... just thinking the best place we can do that. Maybe here, next to these. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's fine. Getting people up and over the top into this area. And then they can walk down the road here. And then I'm feeling like we do need some sort of bridge across the top here. And something with this junction of the road sort of catches my eye. And that could go straight across. I'm wondering if we have enough room to then curve it down to bring it in over here somewhere. And again, we're not going to charge for this. I'm not worried about making any money. But let's see what we can do. So we're going to go to there. We're going to set that as the same height as it coming off of there. Oh, jumpy. And then, how am I going to get this down into under here? Let's grab this road, this path for now. I'm going to bring that out to there. And again, we're going to try this tool and see if we get something interesting. Quite often we do, but it's not what you want. So I'll switch that around the other way. If I click on the end here, that'll take it. Oh, it's gone all the way around the world and back around the other side again. Yeah, I feel like I need to just fiddle with this for a couple of minutes and see if I can get this working. Yeah, there we go. That's lined up nicely. That doesn't look too bad. What I do feel like we need is some sort of fence along here. So nobody's falling off into the motorway below. Let's just move that back a tiny bit like that. And then we can grab... Oh, let's have a look. Oh, could we have like a hedge or something just to make it a little bit nicer? Why not? We've actually got some tall hedges here. Yep, there we go. And then we can walk over the top. And then it's a not too long slope down there. And then it just switches into that. And again, people can get into this area. Nice. So now we've got access from this side, and this side. I'd like to give these people some sort of access in there, or at least a way to get around to the entrance. But I'm just wondering, this is so close, whether we could... Oh, jumpy game. Whether we could just add... I don't know whether a road over the top straight into the camping area is a good idea, but at least a way to get up and over here so they can come in the main entrance would be good. So what about just the end of here? I think that might work nicely. How about something like this? There we go. Nothing complicated. Nice little bridge over the top. And people are starting to use it already, which is brilliant. So we're not really getting a need for commercial at the moment. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to manually place some items down here. So I'm going to remove this grass search for in here. And we're going to add on... that we need to look at a DLC. Then we're going to go into here and we're going to do this one. And we should, let's go to all. There we go. Get some buildings that we can place in here. Yeah, excellent. This is what we want. Some eco-commercial stuff. Excellent. So let's maybe just sort of pick out, yeah, they're walking over, look, and coming into the park, which is great. Let's pick out some of these and just sort of fill these spaces here. Nothing too big, and just sort of give people a reason perhaps to come over here and do a little bit of shopping as well. Excellent. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Very good, very good. People coming over here already, heading over here backwards and forwards into the park. That is exactly what we need to see. Okay, I'd like to add some more items around the place to really make it somewhere that you want to go. So if you want to walk, come around a lake, this is a perfect place for you. If you want to grab a cup of coffee, how about we just add in a Costa coffee over here, which I think will be ideal. There we go. So even whether you're in the park or not in the park, you can grab a Costa coffee and then head on over into the park. But this little section here, I'd like to make this a place that you can visit. And I'm thinking of adding into here, if we jump into our parks, we have the Botanical Garden, which I think would just fit in here absolutely wonderfully up against the river. I'm going to set it so it's level with the back. That's fine. And then we can decorate this a bit. What else could we put around here? So we've also got the Bird and Bee Haven, which I think we could put over here. And not being too far from our farming area as well, I think that would just work out really, really nicely. And hoping we can just sort of hook this up. Yeah, it doesn't connect, but I'm pretty sure if we just sort of run this through here, we can hook that up nicely and we'll level that out as well. I've got a sneaky feeling Parkify the mod isn't working correctly. So it says no path or road access. Well, it needs path access. Road access only if the park area doesn't have a main gate. Well, the park area does have a main gate. We've got this one down here and it's all part of the same area. So not quite sure what's happening there, but I think we'll just have to sort of make do for now. And again, trying to make it a venue, somewhere that people want to head to. We're imagining that the farmer that owns this farm once owned all of this land and he's slowly sold bits and chunks off here and there for the growth of Blighty on the Wold. And then we've got this little section that's left down here. And what we're going to add into here, once we have placed in, we're going to go for this country road here. And this is going to be, let's jump back into here, this. We're going to have our festival area over here. There we go, excellent. So we know this is going to upgrade as time goes by. We can also add in our media broadcast building. Which helps to attract more people to here. So I think that's going to go over here in the North Sutton Business Park. It sort of seems to fit the look that we've got going on over here. I'd like that in here, but I'd like it a little straighter along that road there. We'll just line up that and pull it back a bit. So that adds, I think it's 10% effectiveness, 20% effectiveness to any advertising campaigns. The music club increases ticket sales of all concerts by 10%. So we're going to want that somewhere where people can easily visit it. And if we remember, Feltham was pretty low on the scale of, you know, land value, which has actually shot up quite a lot now, and parks and things like that was the lowest. So is there somewhere in this area we could add this music club? And we've got this sort of residential, commercial school area, but of course when the schools are shut, why not have a music club back here? And these sort of buildings I don't really like the look of, so we are going to pop it in the back here. Let's leave a gap in between there, and I think that will go really well. And then of course if you want to add it as well, you've got this one here which gives like an extra fan zone. Increases, what does that add there? It says big video screen increases the success chance of all concerts by 5%. So I would sort of have that in another area because people can't sort of get into this area. I'm wondering whether that could become a part of our shopping complex once we do this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it there as a placeholder, and then as time goes by and we redo this area, that is going to, help us out. Let's just place in some water pipes for these lovely people. We'll just wait for that to kick in. And then I also want some parking in here as well. So let's grab the same country road. We're going to bring that in straight out the back here and drag that out. So it's not actually connected, but it's right there. And then we'll place this parking up against here. That's good. There we go. So we get a nice big parking area. And then here we can have some concession and food stands, something like that. Okay, so we've got a Tesco's, a McDonald's, a KFC, a Burger King, barbecue something or other. We've got a Big Bite, then we've got a couple of other food stalls around here as well. So I think that is enough food coverage for people that are going to be coming over here to our concerts. When is the next concert? Elijah Motti, 26th of the 3rd. So it's not until next year. Security budget. I'm going to leave everything as standard. The only thing I'm going to change is this. We're going to change that to red. What have we got here? So advertising campaign, which is going to cost us £9 a week. I don't think so. Premium studio, 3,000 a week. Yeah, we haven't got the money for all of that. So we'll just leave that as it is. But we're definitely going to need some sort of tree protection around here. So let us just pop some of this in. I say protection, I'm talking about the sound, of course. Okay, there we go. So we've got another reason to come and visit this. If you want your concerts in the park, we've got your bird and bee haven, and we've got whatever this place was called over here, the Arboretum, the Botanical Gardens. That was the name of it. So yeah, it's getting better and better. I'm just interested in what the rating is for entertainment. Oh, we are knocking it out of the park. Fantastic. So also, what about some mass transit? Well, a bus to come over here would be absolutely brilliant. So let's see if we've got anything nearby. We do. We've got a couple of lines that literally run right through here. So it's this one here I think I'm interested in. So let's grab that and pop a stop outside. We've also got this purple line that comes from all the way over here, which would be great as well. So if I can grab that and we'll add a stop. We'll do that on the other side of the road. Excellent. And then this pink one here, which heads into Feltham, that would be great. So if I can grab that just before it turns the corner. And also we'll put a stop up here for that one. It's going to do a lot of bus turning around, but I think that'll be okay. So that gives lots of access to people that want to come through here as well, which would be absolutely fantastic. There are three things that we can keep in mind when we're designing our areas that want to have this sense of place. The first one is called place dependence. Now, this is defined as a place being chosen for its resources to support an activity or a livelihood. For example, you want to go swimming, you choose the nearest pool. You want to go rock climbing, you choose the nearest climbing centre that meets your abilities or needs, and the same for shopping or schools for your children. Second, you have place identity. Well, now you're starting to touch on emotions rather than just on a dependence of certain resources or needs. So, for example, is the place that you're going to beautiful, makes you feel alive or relaxed? Do you have more specific recreational needs that means you need to travel even further to have those fulfilled? Is it the older style of buildings and statues or markets that draw you to that place more than others? Then finally, you have place attachment. Now, this is a combination of the above two to such a degree that this is now your place. You can illustrate it this way if you think of a football team and their home ground. Fans have a huge sense of attachment to that place for obvious reasons. Or for you, it might be that quiet park that's around the corner that's convenient but also has just the right flavour of tea, just the right shaded bench to sit on, and just the right emotional attachment because that's the place you first met your best friend. Now you have the perfect storm of all of these three things, and this place has now become somewhere that has a sense of place to you. So what do you think? Will people be coming here to make memories of their own, to really feel that this has a sense of place? There's places to visit. We have the botanical gardens, we have the shops, we have the music venue, we have the bird and bee haven, we have fishing, we have walking, we have trees, water, nature. It is a lovely place, and as we saw, the land value around this area has skyrocketed, and all the houses around this park now have access to this wonderful place. So can you do this in your city? Can you find an area? Can you turn it into somewhere that has a sense of place, somewhere where you want to go, somewhere where you want to get an emotional connection, where you want to go to do things? And if you view it like that, then your citizens in your city will view it that way as well. So thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a like and be sure to check out the next video on the screen and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you soon for the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.